folks, I'm the Bald Guy, and these are Bald Guy Basics. I seem to get a lot of interest from making my homemade tool trays or tool holders. This is what I used to do. Now, what I've got here is a piece of black hard foam, and I've just got a lot of spare wrenches. I've explained before how I've got tools that I inherited from a number of places. And when I didn't have any equipment at all, I would just take styrofoam or foam and I would create a tool holder. And if you can see this, I'd angled it. That way you can see your tools when you're looking down into a drawer, you can kind of see the face of it. I wanted to show you today how easy it is to make one out of wood. Now what I've got here is a piece of square stock. This was a picket for a hand railing that went around the porch. Had some extras left over. So what I'm going to do is to make a baseline mark across. I'm going to make some vertical lines, and then I'm going to make some angle lines to cut to. And you'll see just how easy it is to make this with a minimum of equipment. I'm going to be using a bandsaw. I also have a scrolling saw, and that works just fine. If you don't have anything else, a jigsaw, you can actually do this with a handsaw. It's just going to take a little bit longer. So with a piece of wood, with a ruler, and I'm going to cheat and use my speed square, and a pencil, you can make something in literally a matter of minutes. So let's look. I'm going to begin, use my speed square for this. I'm going to make me a line so that I'll have a baseline to know how deep I want to make my cuts. So I did that same mark. Yep. Once I've made my baseline, I just draw it in. So we have horizontal line. Now I'm going to come in and make lines for my grooves. So I'm basically going in and making a line for each one of these cutouts that I'm making. If this embarrasses you, I would much rather have a cheesy piece of foam in here holding my tools straight and keeping them from getting jumbled than not, but the wood does hold up a little better. So now I'm simply making a vertical mark in 1 centimeter increments. This shiny ruler, my light source is back this way, and the light is reflecting in such a way that I cannot see the marks very well without angling this thing, but angling it works just fine. Now again, using my speed square, I'll have to move up here where I can get into the light. I'm just making a vertical line here, and it doesn't have to be exact. But this is not rocket science. This is not hard at all. If you've never had a speed square and you find the need to measure and then get some right angles, it's a very handy piece of equipment to have. In fact, it'll do far more than I am able to do, but there are other videos online that will show you that. Let's turn my square over to get these last couple of ones. Now, you see I have a number of vertical cuts that I'm going to make. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make my vertical cut on every other one. And then on the, I'll cut here, and then I'll come diagonally. Let me draw it in. So every other cut, I'm going to do that. So every other cut, I'm going to do like so. And this is not precise, but it works. So now I have this. So I make my vertical cut and then my angle cut, then my vertical cut and my angle cut. Now what you do want to do, I'll actually start this cut. See, this is going to be, I'm going to color it in here. That's going to be the spacer, this area, the wood that's left. What I will do is actually bring my cut over into my spacer. I want the top of this to be wider because when you're doing a wood one, let me get my small one out here. Have to balance my wrenches with that if I don't want to dump them all. I dumped two. The right way here. You see how firm that is? But you want it wider at the top because especially your thicker wrenches, they'll end up sitting up high, which I didn't want. But notice how neat that is. It's very handy, it's very stable. So now, all I need to do is go over here and make my cuts. All right, one of the things I did is I measured how far I can run into the neck of my saw. Because if my piece of wood is longer and I start making cuts, I can't go all the way through because it's hitting here. So this will be a little loud, but just hang with me. Made my vertical cut. Now I'm just going to make my angles. we're done. Let's go back over here and load it up. All right, I'm actually going to keep this foam one. I can make tighter cuts for small wrenches, but you've watched it in real time. It's wide enough that it holds my wrenches. They're not falling off. You know, when I'm when it's sitting on the table, when I pick them up and shake them, they'll fall off. They're presentable. They face the direction I want to so I can see the measurements on them. It's neat. It's relatively uniform. And I did it with no advanced tools. I did it with no advanced training. This is something you can do yourself. So whether you have a bandsaw, a reciprocating saw, or even a tabletop jigsaw, you can make stuff out of scrap wood, and I've shown another video on this, and it really does, it cleans up the inside of my toolbox very nicely because I've got multiple sets of wrenches. So I'm able to put my SAE wrenches and my metric together in a row in ascending order. And then this particular, I like this well enough, I may just keep this one. This is pretty handy, but it's the same design, but this is really stiff foam that came with something. If you don't have foam, you can find wood scraps almost anywhere. So I hope this helps, and if you come up with some ideas, why don't you send me a message and let me know of something, because I might try it and learn myself. This is the Bald Guy, thanking you for watching today. Hope you'll leave us a like. Hope you'll subscribe. If you've got ideas for do-it-yourself videos that you'd like me to try, send me a message on that too. Thanks. Just a final look at what I've done with my toolbox. You see over here the factory storage boxes for both Harbor Freight and Craftsman, same thing. But I had so many loose wrenches. The foam is very useful. Notice the punches, notice the spare Allen wrenches. I've got a whole drawer full of spare Allen wrenches. So I'm gonna keep the foam ones for those kind of things, make stuff presentable. I don't like these for wrenches. And if you notice why, look at the angle. Even when I cut this at an angle to try to get these things to lay over so I can see them, the weight of them just overpowers the foam just a little bit. So I got up to 1-inch jaw wrenches there and just a lot of spare stuff. And it just makes the ability to reach into this box and find what I need so much better. So, hope that works for you.